See, I think we as a culture, and every human being in their heart of hearts, deny it as much as they might, knows that there needs to be a God. You see, I have this conversation. I personally find the problem of evil and that's what this really is all about. I find the problem of evil one of the main reasons I'm a follower of Jesus, why I believe in God. I don't know what you believe right now, but let me tell you how it works for me and the conversations I've had with people around these fires and the problem of evil and a belief in God. I say to people, you know, if there is no God, if all there is in the world is the material, and if you and I really are a product of time plus chance plus some amino acids, if that really is all there is in the world, there's no spiritual world, there's no creator, there's no God, then the fires and the people dying in the fires are not morally evil. They're not even morally wrong. It's just unfortunate or unlucky. In fact, from a strictly evolutionary perspective, what was happening was good. I mean, it was just the process of evolution weeding out those who were not biologically well fitted to live in this world. I mean, it's not wrong. It's just part of survival of the fittest. Now, of course, I'm a sensitive, gentle kind of chap who likes people to like me, so I tend not to put it that bluntly, you know, to people whose relatives have just actually died. It's not a helpful time to have that conversation. This is more a step back, thinking a little bit about it. But you see, if there is no God, there is no ultimate moral good or evil in the world, and these fires were not evil. They were just stuff that happened, random. But the fact that we talk about them as a tragedy, as evil, and we sense there must be someone responsible is right, because the Bible says God has made us with a sense in our hearts of his presence and his reality. We're made to believe in a creator God and to live in the light of a creator God. And that's, I think, what these fires kind of expose. The second thing that these fires have exposed is, and what makes them painful, is that people have lost their homes. I don't know if it struck you, but when people who've survived talk about it, they are devastated and they talk about having lost everything. Now, again, this is not the conversation you'd have as a grief counselor, right? So we're a little bit removed. If you've just lost someone in the fires, this might not be really helpful for you, and I really apologize if you've just lost your home. This is not meant to be, you know, offensive for you, though it probably will be. But like, if you stop and think coolly and rationally, you've just lost your home, right? If you're insured, why is that a bad thing? It was a building and it got burnt down, and your insurance is going to pay for you to build a new one that's going to be better than the old one you had. You're going to come out ahead, right? If you're insured, you're going to get a new TV. You had a little 34-inch kind of crappy round screen thing. You're going to get a big plasma screen, right? It's going to be flat. It's going to be cool. You're going to get all new clothes. You can update your clothes from the 80s and finally look cool, you know? Why is it so? Why is there a sense that you've lost everything when a building and some stuff gets consumed by fire? I think it is because deep in the heart of our souls, we are wired up to need homes. We need a home. We're not just animals who can sleep anywhere, but we're actually made to construct and live in homes that give us a sense of safety and security in the world. Homes that kind of provide a context for our relationships and our families, that contribute to our sense of well-being and really are integral to what it is to be alive and to be human. We need homes. And when our homes are destroyed, even though they're just buildings and clothes and electrical crap, when they're destroyed, what's destroyed is far more than just the physical. What's destroyed is the spiritual concept of home, the emotional, existential experience of home. Now, if there is no God, and again, we are just the material, just a product of time and chance and evolution, there is no explanation logically for the power of home for us, and why we need home, and why the loss of a home is so devastating. But the Bible says you and I are made for a home. And that we create earthly homes to try and insulate ourselves from the reality of this world. That the Bible says on this world we are strangers and aliens. We all know that actually there is no home that's lasting and ultimate. And we long for it and we yearn for it, and we try and build homes that will make our lives work and give us safety and security. We try and build places where all the relationships are perfect, where everything works, where we always belong, where we're never rejected. You know, the reality in our core is that we know that no such home like this actually exists in the world. And when fires come down and consume our homes, it's terrifying. And the sense of loss is extraordinary. Now, into this context, the Bible says that God looked at our homelessness. Even when we have physical homes, he looks at this state of wandering and not belonging and not being safe and secure. And he says, I want to make a home. I want to give you guys, my people, a home. And what he does is, in his son Jesus Christ, the Creator God, comes into the world to become utterly homeless, to lose everything for us so that we can gain everything that we were made for. Jesus said, here's how it works. Jesus said to his disciples, I'm about to leave you, and I'm going to my Father's home, and in his home there are plenty of rooms, and I'm going to prepare one for you. How does Jesus prepare a home for us? He does it by taking upon himself our homelessness. You see, when the people who nearly died in the fires and lost their homes, they say they lost everything. Well, they didn't actually lose everything. But Jesus, the Son of God, leaves his home in eternity with the Creator God, comes to earth, the Bible says, lives in our place, and then takes upon himself the utter homelessness. He loses everything. He loses the relationship that is at the heart of being at home, the father-son relationship. His father abandons him on the cross. He takes that homelessness on himself. Why? Because that's the homelessness that we deserve. And instead, he gives us an eternity of being at home with his Father. The bushfires point us to all of that, in all its pain and all its beauty. The third thing is, why these bushfires are painful is it pushes us up against the limits of our knowledge. You see, we all want to know why it happened. And there are two dangers there. You can say too much or you can say too little. So what I want to do is help us experience the limits. You see, help us make sense of the limits of our knowledge. Some things we can't say, first of all.